Hello everyone, this is Candy Grand Prix. It's Thursday, October 22nd, 2020 at 8:49 a.m. So, this morning I woke up to a suggestion to do an Instacart in-shopper job. Well, a commenter on one of my videos, and I got excited because I figured, well, that's a job that I know I can do, but I downloaded the app and then tried to apply for the Instacart job. But sadly, there's only one location that's 55 miles away in Miramar Beach, Florida. And I don't know if they have transportation like bus service or anything like that over there. And plus, I wouldn't know where to go and live at over there. But they said you can choose up to 4 locations, and I thought I had my hopes up and stuff like that. I thought Pensacola had Instacart, but I guess not. And I don't think they have shipped out here either. Um, but I see other targeted individuals, they drive and have a car. But even if it was a delivery Instacart, the full service with the car and DoorDash, I can do jobs like that. Uber Eats. Well, dealing with customers. I mean, I tried the doggone cab driving job, but Uber is more weird with the customers and drivers. So I, out of desperateness, um, before I left that place in 2018, the last Section 8 house I lived at, I applied for DoorDash and I got a bike, but I don't remember what happened that I couldn't get to do the job. Um, but and my body is not in shape enough to do. I mean, it would take some time for my body to get in shape enough to be able to. And I'm 37 years old. Um, it would take me some time for my body to get in shape enough to ride a bike and do delivery, like 8 hours on a bike and delivery. I see the people who do it, they're skinny and able-bodied, and I would have to be in an area like New Orleans, like I was, doing jobs on a bike. And I even tried to apply for the pedicab that's not driving but riding a bike in New Orleans. But I never had the money to with the pedicab job. I never had the money to it's like a cab driver and you have to have that kind of licensing and everything like that. But I didn't have the money to be a pedicab driver with the bikes and stuff. But those pedicabs in New Orleans, they are so raggedy. They need new ones. Those bikes that you bike ride around with the tourists and stuff like that. But I'm too physically out of shape. I need to get in shape. Never been in shape really. Um, Not that I'm lazy, cause I do a lot of walking, but all those years of psych medications and staying in the house being depressed and stuff all the time. But um, for years I've been looking, the gig economy and side hustles and stuff, and just feeling false hopes. And I would spend hours and days just looking, and just like all these different websites say the same thing. But and if there is a way to do something, like I thought about I thought I would enjoy or love being a travel blogger. And so me trying to do a travel blogging, I don't know how to get into that. Do I just, you know, start? I mean, like, it's harder with the fake COVID-19 and everything. But do I just start, you know, I mean, I see some people can go in different countries and brag about their experiences, but one person pointed out that that would be hard to do being a targeted individual and a travel blogger, because they said that people wouldn't want to read negative experiences. So that, and it is true that I don't see how people can just walk around with nothing but positive and good experiences all the time when I just get nothing but hate and treated mean, like I did something wrong. But they have great quality food, or they might say something like, if they're a travel blogger, they don't blog about like bad customer service, but they might blog about how they didn't, how this was good, but this, if they have the salmon and egg Benedict breakfast, they might say that, oh, it wasn't it wasn't flavorful enough or something like that. But to actually talk about bad customer service, I don't really see travel bloggers doing that. Um, I don't even know. Like, I've seen some people who are homeless and have a blog. I mean, I had my blog, but took it down with a targeted individual, and it wasn't really getting any traffic. Well, not no traffic, but a few people were reading it. But um, it's like, make me feel like a failure that people use it against me and throw it in my face, saying that's why nobody wants to read your blog, and nobody wants to read your blog, or nobody wants to watch your YouTube videos or whatever. But I heard that I wish YouTube will fix that to where it doesn't matter how many subscribers you have, and you can get paid on your YouTube videos, but you have to have a certain amount of high subscribers, and they make money that way, and people don't have a problem. But I just post my links to my donations, and people have a problem with that and say, all she does is complain and beg or talk negative. You're not gonna have. They're gonna make sure as a targeted individual that you don't get to have happy experiences. So I was reading about, even in 2017, I was trying so hard because I had my own place with the Section 8, but they were Donald Trump he cut down everybody's um he took out money for Medicare Part B, I think it is. And so my Social Security check was cut down like $130 something for 3 months. And I wasn't going around panhandling or begging, but I asked one day just for 75 cents for the bus to get me to, I think, to a job interview at the zoo. And you know, people think it's that easy. Oh, just save $5 for an emergency or whatever. But when you have to spend that too, that little $5, because you can't go, I mean, you can't eat anything else. I mean, I can't go to homeless soup kitchens. What's the point of fighting with people 3 times a day? Because I don't want you smoking around me, or you coughing on me, or you standing too close to me. I don't care. Call that petty, but you're not gonna freaking cough on me, and you're not gonna smoke around me, and I don't like that. So I mean, they have a right to smoke around you. They have a right to blast loud music. Y'all are perps saying that, and you're not God to grant that authority. And that I don't have a right to get mad. But you say you're targeted too. Um, so I mean, it's like I couldn't have any peace when I was living in Los Angeles, and I tried to have my windows open for fresh air, and the gang stalking perp neighbors would smoke nonstop, nonstop, and stand. They have their own little building, their porch or whatever, but they purposely come stand by where I'm at, or they wait till my windows are open to start freaking smoking, and then you know I'm sitting here, getting mad and stuff like that, and it's like I mean a lot of targeted individuals, you know. I didn't know I was being gang stalked at the time, but I knew I was being harassed, but I didn't know it was gang stalking. But it's like a lot of us target individuals. Some people say we shouldn't do it, but I need to work on praying for my enemies rather than, people who do me such horrible stuff. I'd be like, they deserve to die, or they deserve to go to hell, or y'all deserve to go fry in hell or whatever. But shucks, one targeted individual, she said that the gang stalking perps, they need to be caught and killed. So a few other people say that the gang stalkers that are torturing them, that they just need to die. You know, but I'm working on that I need to try to have a change of mind and just pray for them rather than saying they deserve to die. I mean, recently I said, about Stars 15K that, well, she got cancer. I'm like, good. I hope she dies of a freaking cancer. But she can say stuff like that about me if I had a certain illness or disease or whatever. But I shouldn't say that. But she made me so mad. And as I said last night, she called. I mean, gave me a rude ass text message telling me keep my name out your mouth. You're teaming up with my twin sister to harass me and try to get me committed to the mental institution. Well, that's been your agenda and your goal, and her agenda and her goal. But now y'all working together. So, if you, as I say, oh, she's like, oh, let's get her locked up. Let's get her locked up. Oh, uh, make sure you get her banned from hotel rooms. Oh, do this, do that. Whatever. Great, let's get her banned from hotel rooms. And then she'd be like, your behavior, Candy. I mean, cause she was like, ew, do you share her pee spots? Cause that's nasty. I have no place else to go to pee when I'm on the streets. But I'm glad I have a private spot where I can go hide. But then the perps cover that spot too. Like, as if they want to watch me urinate. Y'all some sick asses. They want to watch me. They hit me with the energy weapons to make me piss and shit. And then they want to watch me while I'm doing it. Y'all, what's wrong with y'all? I would never want to watch somebody pee. Never. I don't care. I'm not perverted like that. And I don't want to watch anybody shit. I don't want to watch anybody vomit. I don't want to watch anybody spit. So, but I mean, I've talked about this before. So going around following people around, harassing people, you don't freaking do that. So, you can't call me a constant complainer, if you keep harassing me and you're doing the harassing and expect me to just be quiet. And I'm not bothering you. I'm not doing you anything. If my videos bother you, why are you subscribed? You want to stalk and monitor and follow everything, and then don't like it when I strike back. You can dish it out, but you can't take it. Alex, all y'all. So back to what I'm talking about. This topic is more like targeted individuals and, gig economy jobs. I'm going to talk about my experiences. I didn't know I was targeted at the time. But it's like, why is in 2017, I had my own place, and um Donald Trump, for 3 months, he cut out the Medicare Part B. And so I was living off of 500 something a month, going to food banks and stuff. And I had to pay like deposit in increments on electricity bill and stuff. My Section 8 was like $154 a month. I was being electronically tortured every day and night, and I thought it was my weight. Um, and I was having badass acid reflux, so bad, like so bad acid reflux, and heartburn, and was sleep deprived, and hit with the electronic weapons, having pressure on my head, being afraid I was going to have a heart attack. They would have me sleep deprived for 18 days straight. And I'm supposed to be expected to be functional and normal and have self-control. And I would end up, they would, I guess, electronic, because I don't get high blood pressure. I don't get high blood pressure. So for my blood pressure to be like 180 over 78, and then the pregnant mean nurses refuse to help me, and then they go outside and smoke cigarettes while they're pregnant. And I always wonder, if you work in healthcare, why you do unhealthy stuff like be fat, and you eat a lot of junk food. I guess that is hypocritical if you're an obese doctor or nurse, and you advise somebody else on certain kind of health, or you're a doctor who smokes really heavy, but then you tell the patients don't smoke. I'm glad I don't smoke. But you know, if I mean, even like when I had my own place in 2017, 2018, and I was cooking, and even in 2016 or whatever, I had my own place, and I was trying to focus on eating more fruits and vegetables and healthier food and cooking healthier food, and going to, that was that place in Greenville, South Carolina, Swamp Rabbit Cafe and Grocery. That was one of my favorite places to go to, and plus I love the farmers markets. So yeah, in the video I talked about last night. So I was able to, buy healthier and eat healthier foods. And 2018, 2019 was the lowest I got with weight loss. I got down to 192. And that was the smallest I've been since after being 18 years old. Because after I turned 18, I started off at 170 pounds and then got up to 200. And being on those psych medications and eating junk food, not knowing the truth and stuff like that, I was like never under 200 pounds, and would fluctuate between 220 and 270. And 2006 and 2016, like 2006, the most I was 304 pounds, and walking around, walking like 60 blocks a day in New York City, and only eating lettuce, and I was still like 304 pounds and big. And I'm like, it had to have been just the medication. And people, the moment I put a morsel of food to my mouth, I get condemned and called greedy. I'm like, and people just assume you eat a whole bunch of junk food and you're just fat and whatever. I'm like, well, I see some overweight people who act like they think their fat is better than my fat. And you fat and you call me fat and greedy. But, like my own biological sister Ramona, during our argument in 2015, she tried to say, at least I wasn't fat when I was your age. and she called me fat and greedy while she took 4 big, and she's supposed to be diabetic. I'm not diabetic, but she had 4 big pieces of cake while eating her cake and then calling me fat and greedy and said, at least I wasn't fat when I was your age. Yes, she was 32 years old and fat. And I said, yes, you were 32 years old and fat. And then she said, that's because I had 2 kids. 2 kids is no damn excuse, bitch. So anyway, so I was able to lose some weight when I had my own place, but then being homeless and eating out, and it's, as I said, you know those 15.99 salads and stuff like that. I want to be able to eat a salad as a meal. Um, you know, but it seems like if I get like a house salad, that'll be like $4.99, and it'd be freaking lettuce, tomato, onion, and pickle, or something like that. And I hate tomatoes. Oh, let me put my earphones in. So today I'm planning to do laundry. I bet you that so-called pumpkin pecan waffle, I mean not waffle, pancakes from Denny's. I don't think, well, I guess I'll let y'all know in another video. Um, I'll let y'all know in another video if I do have pecans in them. See, whoever that neighbor is, she just lets her child scream all day. Because everything was all quiet, and now I'm doing my video. I don't even know if the child is autistic, or if she's a perp that's encouraging her child to just scream all day. I mean, if it's a normal child that she's encouraging to scream all day, or if the child might be autistic and just scream all day. So that child is hollering, talking loud. Hold up. They must know I'm doing a video. So, it's not the child's fault. But what happened to training your children? You know, if I scream like that, the foster mom would pop me in the damn mouth. But I'm not saying you should pop your child in the mouth, but, you know, just like, well, hi, Tyler. Don't scream. Try not to scream so loud. You're disturbing the neighbors. You know, if you can talk to them like that, y'all ain't gotta pop them in the mouth. But, you know, I'm just saying. So, anyway. Let me get back to talking. So, in 2017, I tried what I could for work, and I remember I lost some weight. But, I mean, over the summer, I just had it so hard. And some people were like, well, you got diabetes or you got sleep apnea. The doctor said my blood sugar is normal. It's like you are trying to put word curses on me or trying to curse me with diabetes. Like Stars 15K said, you're gonna be homeless and begging in Pensacola for the rest of your life. That's what the perps want. But then when I try to better myself, y'all block and stop that too. So I'm speaking of targeting individuals in the gig economy jobs. Like they had this professed targeted individual who says he's Christian and targeted, and he said that when he would go to try to drive for Uber, that he would go and try to drive for Uber, and then the moment he started to go and drive on his runs, they turn his app off. I'm like, wow. But me, with a driving job, they make sure I'm sleep deprived and then feeling those symptoms the day I mean, like they make sure I'm sleep deprived the night before, and then the day I go try to go to drive, they make sure I just have those symptoms and like like I can feel the deprivation symptoms. But see, the night before last, I got very little sleep, and then last night I slept better. But at this moment, I'm feeling deprived, feeling worse today than I did yesterday. It's not a good feeling, especially if you got to go out and drive. It ain't no, I mean, it's torture. But I would love to have a moment where I can get my mind and my body to just feel back normal and functioning again. But that's part of the goal with the target individual. So I was perusing, I guess that's the word, perusing these websites and just feeling false hopes. Who the hell cuts through a job interview just to go grocery shopping and don't even tell me and then get rude and get an attitude with me for no reason? That happened when I tried at I tried a few times with the jobs, applying for jobs to teach English in China. And I mean, I tried with the jobs to teach English in China. And and it's like I thought I was the problem. But, I didn't realize these were gang stalking perps who set me up with the interview each and every time and were extra fucking rude and didn't hire me for no reason at all. No deserving reason at all. They wanted me to, get Skype and stuff like that, download Skype. And so, I was bitter and upset for a long time. But then I saw YouTube videos about how they don't want blacks to work to teach English in China. You can't even be Asian, English speaking Asian. Their requirements is you have to be white, American white, or the rich, proper white people in order to get that job of teaching English in China. I even tried to apply for jobs teaching English in Spain, and it could have helped me with my Spanish. But the job deal was I could not speak in Spanish to my students or whatever. I had to, of course, speak English. But, excuse me, people always tell me that I'm very well spoken and articulate and highly intelligent. It seemed like people who are shocked because they initially thought I was slow and retarded, that's when they tell me that they think I'm highly intelligent. So, even the rich, proper white people or white people would even tell me that I sound so articulate and well spoken and stuff like that. They tell me I sound highly educated. I'm like, well, I just have a bachelor's. But without the interruptions and abuse and distractions in my life, I could have gone higher. People just wanted to shut down my dreams. So I was being tortured and attacked a lot in 2017 and having all these symptoms. And I didn't know, some people say that it's part of the electronic harassment, even with the daily acid reflux and stuff like that. Because how come I'm almost 270 pounds now? And, well, I just started a couple of weeks ago, like maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, back up with the symptoms of acid reflux, but or heartburn, but it'll be mild. But I do try to be mindful of what I eat. You're never gonna catch me eating at burger, like fast food, mainstream fast food burger places anymore and stuff like that. So also in 2017, and before I left to go to New Orleans, I was in Greenville, South Carolina, and I would feel like quick flashes of overheat and also I would have heart palpitations, and I didn't realize that they were electronically harassing the fuck out of me, like so bad. And you know, it was just, you know, or if I do end up, I even tried to go take this tax class in 2017, and when they sleep deprived me the night before to take this tax class. It was like 2 or 3 days, and I thought I did everything right, but they ended up not selecting me. But just the night before that first night, I had got into a heated argument with the gang stalking perp next door neighbor over the noise in the middle of the night. I had to call the police. The police just let them run free. But if it was me, I would have been hauled off to jail, if I would have done what they're doing to me. So, it's it's like they can wait until 2 o'clock in the morning to blare their loud TV and music. And the next door neighbor, the crackhead Michelle, she would bring over all these people to her house, her crackhead friends, and it's like, all like, how the hell random men, like at the first, on the first and the third of the month, her real name is Ella and not Michelle, but her boyfriend physically abused and beat on her. Like, this lady, she lied about a lot of things. And like, they wait till midnight one day and had a all out fist fight, and the man was beating on her, and she cried. I overheard she cried, and it's like, I don't know what happened, but what man would slam a woman's body against the wall? And so it's like 12 o'clock, like, it sounded like as if the man slammed that lady's body against the wall. And I was sleeping at precisely 12 a.m. I was awakened and shooken up out of my sleep, and heard commotion and arguing and fighting going on. And, you know, I wasn't trying to participate in the see something, say something or whatever. But, I was hoping that man wasn't trying to kill her up in there, and I heard glass breaking and just, I don't know, just like, wow. And so my whole apartment shook, and I couldn't even sleep in my bedroom because they were smoking cigarettes so heavy that I was able to smell it into my bedroom, and cigarettes and weed into my bedroom, and the landlord didn't care. And so they got tired of me complaining, the landlord and stuff, but they were perping me and doing fucked up shit too. Like, they would half fix what got broke, that maybe somebody else broke something, and entered into my apartment and broke, like, say, broke the faucet or something like that. I know it wasn't me, or caused a leak or something, and then the landlord would blame it on me, and then me and the landlord, well, the landlady's husband, me and him got into an argument because he falsely accused me of tearing up the house and breaking up everything, when he knew damn well he was a gang stalking perpetrator in on a conspiracy to have me destroyed. But then, if I would have tried to fight to stay there, they would have evicted me or threw me out. But if I would have fought to The fact that I was trying to leave, they trapped me in a lease on purpose to torture me more. And then, try to say, well, you signed a legally binding document. They kept repeating, the Section 8 people kept repeatedly throwing that in my face. But yeah, the legally binding document is the landlord promised a peaceful and quiet living environment. So usually back then in the 80s and 90s, if you act smart ass to your customers and you're an employee, you get fired. Nowadays, you get promoted to manager. Um, or if you harass neighbors at 2 o'clock in the morning, you get to stay there, and the complaining neighbor is the one who gets evicted. Twisted as hell. So, I mean, they had this other meddlesome, controlling neighbor who tried to tell me I should have, like, he got mad at me for calling the police and told me I should have minded my business. But then, like, where does the line draw that if I hear the commotion next door and if the lady got killed and I overheard it, then I would have gone to jail for knowing about it and not reporting. But I didn't want to be like a snitch or anything, but I just wanted to make sure she was okay. But then she started perping the fuck out of me later on because she was mad because she was trying to get money out of me. And so, I didn't have it. She would ask me for things, like ask me for stuff, and I was nice, and also sometimes offering her food and stuff like that. But she'd be like, knocking on my door and asking me for some chicken and stuff. And then I kind of find out I didn't realize she was asking me for all that food so she could go sell it in exchange for crack. I didn't know that. So, I never dealt with a crackhead before. Never. But and then the traffic and noise at 4 a.m. on the 1st and the 3rd of the month, and trafficking in and out of my place, and then me being sleep deprived. And it's like, well, how come if she's the crackhead, how are all these men trafficking in and out of her house? And they're all trafficking in and out of her house. And if she supposedly she was getting like lower income than I did. But I'm like, if she's doing all this stuff, how come they won't evict her? Like, why? And she might have been a paid perp. That's why they weren't getting rid of her. It was just so much mess over there. I mean, it's more to it than what I'm talking about, but I kind of got off the focus of targeting individuals in the gig economy. So, I tried to work for Rover and WAG, and I guess I failed the test because I didn't know, they expected you to already have knowledge of the restraints and collars for the dogs to walk them and stuff. I didn't know, so I failed those tests. And I tried swag bucks and these surveys and stuff. I recently tried QMe, and these surveys do nothing but waste your time. Like, that's fucked up. Like, why would you do that to somebody? I never qualify because I'm not married and I don't have income $50,000 or higher. I don't have a car. So all that, like, I'm doing questionnaire for 30 minutes just to be told that, well, you don't, or even an hour and 30 minutes, and then told that, well, sorry, but you don't qualify for whatever survey. And it's like I'm doing survey after survey and just never qualify. And try swag bucks. It's not profitable. It's not enough. And I don't have many skills. And I have a bachelor's degree, but I need my mind to be clear, free from sleep deprivation, free from torture, in a quiet environment. in order to teach English here on my laptop to children, and VIP Kid, and there was another one, or one or two, and like three of them. VIP Kid and the other ones, they just straight denied me, like rejected my application, like immediately. And I was bitter and upset at Grubhub that I tried to work for Grubhub, and they said you didn't need a car in New Orleans, but they just rejected me immediately. Um, so I was bitter and upset. I mean, no, you know what it was? With Grubhub, they rejected my application before I can even fill it out, and I was like so mad and bitter. Um, all these false hopes. Like, I don't have technical skills, whether it be computer or physically fixing things. I don't have technical skills. Um, but I could have been trained to teach English in China, or teach English here in America to Chinese students here in America. But I tried that Grand Canyon job. It didn't work out. And I told y'all a little bit last night about with the Grand Canyon situation. So, if any of you targeted individuals, I mean, I got banned from the Squat the Planet website because it's like a homeless website, and it gives job opportunity ideas and stuff like that. And that's how I found out about coolworks.com. So, I still visit coolworks.com and try to fill out some applications, and don't either get rejection letters or don't get a call back. I applied to work at Yellowstone National Park. I applied to work at something in Alaska. I applied at a few other national parks and got either rejected or ignored. Or they would make false promises to interview me, and then that day comes and I never hear from them. Or certain jobs I apply for and they just move, fly. I apply for, and they just play games and give me the runaround. Let me see what else. They had hire car, but hire car is where you can use their car. I mean somebody will lend you their car to drive, and you can drive for Uber, DoorDash, Instacart, and they say it can be lucrative. But I never had enough money. And plus, I heard that hire car was screwing people out of their money and ripping people off and stuff. So I was scared and didn't want to take that chance. And I never had enough money to get to work for hire car. And then with the sleep deprivation, wow. I mean, and then me being a targeted individual, if I were to drive for a hire car or any other car rental service, a gang stalking perp could tamper with the car and then blame me, and I have to be held responsible. And then maybe the owner could be a perp and I not know it, and falsely, tamper with their own car, or have a dent that was already there, and they can have a dent that was already there and then blame it on me, and then try to get money out of me when I already don't have money like that. So, those didn't happen, but I'm just saying some of these scenarios, what if scenarios, with me being targeted or anybody else being targeted. So I did my share on what I could. Care.com, I was hesitant and didn't trust to pay for a membership. But even with the free membership, I almost got scammed really bad. They had scammers on Care.com. And, the gang stalkers always making like even when I was in foster care, the fake foster mom would be like, I don't trust you. But so many people who, I did a caregiver job in 2006 after Hurricane Katrina, and I experienced. I didn't realize I was being gang stalked, and with the caregiving job, I couldn't continue with. I only got to work like one night with a man, and I was more able bodied, and I was on those psych medications too, but I was able bodied enough to go and drive anywhere I want, and I had my car at that time. So with that caregiving job, it was $5.15 an hour minimum wage, and I had a car, and the work wasn't guaranteed. And I remember people worship their dogs so much that they want to try to force you to worship their damn dog. So this lady had a dog in Metairie, and she had it made. She had her own freaking RV and everything. They took me around a tour in the RV. They took me around the house. It was after Hurricane Katrina, and they needed to get their house gutted and stuff like that. So, um, she wanted me to be able to accept and tolerate her dog. I'm traumatized by big dogs because I was attacked by a big dog and also chased by dogs several times in my life. I was chased by dogs several times in my life and attacked by a dog. So I don't trust big dogs. Little dogs fine, but not big ones. So the traumatizing. I was attacked by a dog my senior year in high school, and I hate snakes and big dogs. So I didn't feel comfortable with that lady just like demanded that I accept her dog, and I was like scared, and so then she treated me like she didn't trust me to work as a caregiver because I was scared of her dog. And then next I was like blacklisted from work from that job ever again. And in 2006 I was supposed to work like was it housekeeping, more like janitorial position. They called it housekeeping, but it was a janitorial position at the Children's Hospital in New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina. And this black lady named, I'm calling y'all out, Alice Baker. And then it was a man named Henry Ford. He was nice, but Alice Baker and this girl named Elizabeth Reyes, this Dominican girl I went to school with, she was mean, named Elizabeth Reyes. I'm sorry, I'm fighting out unwanted intrusive thoughts. So Elizabeth Reyes and Alice Baker, like, how those ignorant Project Ghetto New Orleans people who are low class, ignorant, and ghetto, and just fucking ignorant. And I was on those psych medications, and I was twitching, like my face twitching really bad and stuff. And so somebody asked me, why do I blink my eyes so much, and why is my face twitching or whatever? And I said I have Tourette's. Well, I didn't know that I could have kept that quiet. But Miss Stacy from that America Works told me that I get what I deserve for telling all my business. One little sentence is not all my business. But narcissistic abuser like her, all she did was put me down and tear me down. Never really gave me any encouragement. And then when I get mad, she would ignorantly laugh. It's like she wanted me to throw something at her. But anyway, and Miss Stacy sitting there saying nobody's gonna hire you and stuff. And she bragged about, like, Miss Stacy Morgan, she can be successful, and told me she has a high income job. She's a black woman, black Creole or whatever. But Miss Stacy Morgan from America Works with the Social Security Ticket to Work program, she like my second day talking to her, she arrogantly bragged and boasted about all the disabled people who she refused to hire. Like, well, why the hell are you working with disabled people then? Working with disabled people, and this lady needs to lose her job. And I don't understand, but she probably so a Masonic sellout, narcissistic abuser who delusionally believes she's class clown funny and laughs at her own lame ass corny jokes. And telling me nobody's gonna hire you. Like, and then I had this Asian voc rehab counselor in Denton, Texas, who took advantage of just closing my case for no reason. Her name was Ben Lee Denton. She was Chinese, married to a white man. And she would constantly tell me nobody's gonna hire you. And so it's like nobody wanted me to, but I just kept being persistent and trying for years. And I'm wondering, what am I doing wrong? Even if I did everything right, like jobs that say no experience required, and then some people are like, well, you have to have some experience. It's not about the freaking experience, y'all. It's whether you sell out. But then they're not gonna tell me that. Well, Candy, you have to sell your soul to the devil in order to get this little part-time job here at Wendy's. Because I'm sitting here wondering how other people can work full-time at Wendy's. I can't work. Oh, you're overqualified with your college degree. So I'm overqualified to work at Wendy's. I'm overqualified to work janitorial, but I try anyway. And then they be like, oh, with your college degree, you act like you think you're too good to clean toilets. I've cleaned toilets for clean the toilets for $8 an hour. Yeah, I cleaned toilets for $8 an hour, baby. Last year, I cleaned toilets with a bachelor's degree. What did they do? I tried to stick with that job. They put me in the emergency room 4 times in 6 weeks with all the electronic harassment, making me feel like I was gonna die. Kept me more sleep deprived. Imagine doing janitorial work, being days of sleep deprived. But I still was pushing. And then fake TI perps and other perps try to bully me and force me to quit my job and yell at me and trying to be coercive and pushy and trying to make, like Olga Limpkin. I'm calling you out, Olga. A fake TI perp, narcissistic abuser who really includes herself, like forcefully includes herself with the targeted individual community. She's her and Yurdes Gonzalez, they both act the same. I think Yurdes Gonzalez, who calls herself Nita Benita Gonzalez, the Yurdes Gonzalez lady, I think she was the one who caused everybody on Twitter to have me blocked for no reason without me being able to explain myself. Like, why am I blocked by massive amounts of so-called targeted individuals who believe in the fake TI perks lies about me? So I think these gang stalking perps are paid to falsely accuse you of being a perp when you know you damn suffering. And like last night, I didn't respond back to him, but I screenshot what he said. And you're just the perp that's projecting your dirty deeds onto me. But I hate that on the targeted individual databases, they have fake TI perps who got fucking nerve to list themselves as a TI. And then, these fake TI perps want to exploit us real targeted people and try to be like, well, hey, come live with... they're like, oh, I'm opening up a sanctuary for TIs to come live with me. And then you exploit and abuse and traumatize the fuck out of them. So, Olga Limpkin, she was the one who was trying to bully, harass, and threaten me to quit my job. And I didn't do it because of her, but I did it because I quit because of the extreme workplace mobbing and bullying from men at work. So many guys at work. They were more abusive and mean than the females, and being bullied so heavily. And then me being bullied so heavy, and the same guy who encouraged me to get the job to work there, he turned on me and started. He was a cab driver and working that job, and he was a narcissistic abuser who was perping the fuck out of me. But at first, he used to love me and was nice enough to offer me. I didn't ask, but he would see me on my way walking to or from work and offer me a ride. But then they must have got to him like a week after I started working. Um, and so then Andrew Young, that's his name. He had effeminate, womanly mannerisms, and he tried to get in my face and falsely accuse me of something. And I was brand new. He had falsely accused me of not cleaning something that I know I cleaned. And so then another. I don't know if it was the same. No, it was later on that night, because earlier he locked me out of the building, the only area in the building where I can use the bathroom. I worked upstairs and he worked downstairs, and the bathrooms were locked upstairs, and he got an attitude and didn't want to let me in to use the bathroom. That was the first day no, it wasn't the first day he acted like a perp. It was like my third day working there, but then the week after, he started to like it like when he offered me a ride, and then I asked him if he still was gonna take me to my sleep spot, because yes, I had a job and getting SSI and Social Security and working part time and still have to sleep at that sleep spot. I don't even remember if I was working that job. Maybe I did have a routine. I probably was taking showers earlier in the morning if I was working in the evening. I was taking showers because it was a night job, not an overnight job, but I would work like 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. And so, yeah, earlier that in the afternoon, I would get my shower and swim and go to the jacuzzi and stuff. I miss those days. I really do. I miss getting to go in the hot jacuzzi every day, in the sauna every day, anytime I wanted. And I was too sleep deprived to jump off the diving board. I was too scared to do the fancy flips. I can't do those, but I just jumped, and people acting like they were fascinated. But they had this black lady. She was a narcissistic gang stalking perp who was fake nice, and I would be sleep deprived, and she was a fake hypocritian perp, and she would pretend to mirror my experiences, like trying to. If you drive every day, but then she would lie and say that she's sleep deprived, like right along with me. That's the lady who set up the fuck up scenario, was setting me up with a bed bug hotel, and then left me stranded last Thanksgiving. And when she did that Tory, I didn't ask her for. She offered, you know, that hotel room, and I was so mad. And then that Tory Birdsong guy condemned me, and me and him had a heated argument or something that day, and I was just so mad, and he called himself giving me the silent treatment for 2 days, and that was around the time when he said that gang stalkers, that they suck Satan's dick for a donut. Well, if you're a fake T.I. perp, you must suck Satan's dick for a donut too, because you're not gonna be targeted and agree with Stars 15K. Come on, they got flies in here that weren't in here before. Um, he agreed with Stars 15K with trying to get me locked up in a mental institution, and he laughed on the phone and he bragged and laughed about how that I deserve to be locked up in a mental institution for telling all my business, because he was trying to be coercive and pushy on the phone with trying to psychologically and mentally force me to shut down my YouTube channel and tell me, oh, you're telling all your business. But he claimed to be so heavily targeted also, and Christian, but talk like a 20-year-old. He was a white man in his mid-50s and try to talk and act like a 20-year-old black thug, and didn't do a good job with it. So he wasn't humble. He was all high-minded and arrogant. But then he talked about his sister perping him, and he said, just a fucking narcissist. But as puffed up and arrogant as he was, I wouldn't think he would be weak and cave in and become a perp, or else he was probably a fucking perp a fake TI perp the whole damn time. So with Olga, she tried to force me, psychologically and mentally force me to quit my job, but and plus that scam lady that I just talked about with the hotel room, the fake Christian lady who was at the pool, her name was Vivian. And I think she used to call herself an evangelist. But she didn't really talk. She claimed to be Christian, but she never really talked about the Bible to me and sat down and prayed with me. And she was just fake religious. And she was ghetto, ignorant, and loudmouth. And she was fake nice. But then at the same time, like, controlling. She even took me to the hospital one day, drove me to the hospital one day. And then she tried to force me to quit my job, but I just still persisted with trying to keep working. And this was just before, because I didn't understand how come people who were newer than me or came after me, like, I was told I was not allowed to work full time, but I had to stay part time. But everybody else can work full time. But then they said that I worked so good that they were considering me full time. And just before they were about to consider me full time, I mean, they put me in the hospital like 4 times within the 6 weeks of me working there, and because of all the hospital stuff, and plus the workplace mobbing, the workplace bullying, I was forced to quit because they had this person named Dominique Stallworth, who I didn't really, he was a perp who used to bully, harass, and laugh at me, and I just couldn't take it. And I call him Demonique Fagworth. And it's like, he was the second perp co-worker who, wouldn't allow me to use the bathroom. And I remember, like, that was the first time when I did a video and I got massive thumbs down, and I wonder, what did I say offensive or wrong? Well, I didn't mention Demonique Well, I don't think I did mention Demonique Fagworth, but I mentioned, about, the workplace mobbing experience, and I did a video on it, and they gave me such massive, like 14 thumbs down and little, like maybe 2 thumbs up. I wonder, what did I say so wrong? So and so Dominique Stallworth and Andrew Young and a few other people were perping me so bad, and plus they had me in the hospital in the emergency room four times in 6 weeks, and hitting me with electronic weapons. And then Olga was like bullying me, trying to bully me into quitting, or trying to force me to quit. But I just kept going. And with the workplace mobbing, I just couldn't take it no more, with the harassment and bullying. Plus, coupled up with being gang stalked so heavily at work. And then I was working by myself, which I like to do, and they were monitoring me while I was working by myself. So if I try to go back to that job, I don't think they will hire me back again. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I don't think that I don't know if they will hire me back again. But I don't have technical skills as a writer, but I have basic skills as a writer. And so I'm not I mean I'm knowledgeable enough to about gang stalking and targeting enough that I can write I can do some research and then write stories about it. But on something like home improvement, I don't have really any experience or knowledge, so I couldn't write stories about home improvement and then get paid. But even if I did, they would electronically harass my computer on purpose so that my me trying to post it wouldn't post, and then I would get blamed and have to suffer consequences because my work didn't post, or they would have technical difficulties made on on my computer manufactured, or give me the runaround, or just play games or something like that. So I did look into driving for Uber in 2017, but then I heard about the gig economy is just nothing but new age slavery. And somebody said they drove for Instacart for a week and only got $14, and said the 26 miles and wear and tear on your car is just not worth it. And potholes, you hear about potholes and stuff and wear and tear on your car. So if I tried a cab driving job, when I was in New Orleans, both those jobs, they give me a broke car, a broken car, or a car that doesn't work, a raggedy car that doesn't work, or a car with a flat tire. And then I don't know how to I mean, I I know I didn't ride over any potholes or any holes. I make sure I'm careful enough to not to drive over any holes. So I think a gang stalker um had, while I was inside at that shelter, because when I was driving for Glenn's cab those few days, they had that shelter in Harvey, Louisiana, with that narcissistic abusive guy that was in the military named Anthony N. Smith. And if you're a Christian, why the hell would you force somebody to sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, that if any abuse or anything happened to you, then you can't speak out against it? Well, guess what? I'm speaking out on it anyway. So I didn't know what NDAs were. I never had to sign one of those before, except that time. But I was, and you being homeless and just desperate for a roof over your head and desperate for safety and scared and never dealt with living on the streets really like that before. So when I was homeless on the streets for 9 days, oh, you know what? I think I remember in Greenville, South Carolina, they were nice enough to let me sleep in the bathroom, but just not be seen. But they loved me enough to let me um sleep in the bathroom for, like a few couple of nights, a few nights. But I would have to run to the bathroom, like they hit you with the electron, and I didn't know I was being gangster at the time, and they would hit you with the electronic weapons, and then I had to run, and here I had to run 3 or 4 blocks, 3 or 4 long blocks to get to the gas station, and by the time I'm at the end of the first block, I beat and peed on myself, and so I'm like, just fuck it, I'll just lay here and pee on myself, you know, since I could never make it to the bathroom. So I had to walk around pissy and shame and humiliated and embarrassed. And I wear bladder pads. Been having to wear bladder pads since I think like 2013 or something. I've been having this incontinence issue, um, where sometimes I can't make it to the bath. Even like me sitting right here, and I just all of a sudden got to go pee, and then by the time, and the bathroom is just right here, like about 10 steps or less to get to the bathroom, and the very instant I gotta go pee, and some of it gets onto my pad, or if I didn't have the pad on, it would get into my panties. So that's how it is, you know. And I remember when I was on Risperdal medication in my senior year in high school in 2001. I was on Risperdal, and that used to have me pee on myself. Um, it used to make me incontinent, and the kids used to bully, harass, and laugh at me even more. Um, so with Upwork and TaskRabbit, they say it's simple, but it's really technical stuff that I have no experience in. I don't have skills or experience in copywriting and editing and all the technical jobs. But I wonder, how can some people talk about being a digital nomad? Like, as far as experience, like one guy that has a blog called Location Indie, and Jason and Trav, and that person told me that all digital nomad jobs you have to have experience. And I thought it would be cool for me to be a digital nomad and just work from anywhere with your computer. And I'm like, well, how do they get the internet access to work anywhere, when a lot of work from home or work at home or digital jobs you have to have a computer. I looked into working at some RV campgrounds and stuff, and I was told that I have to have my own RV in order to get the job. I have no experience with working in RVs and stuff. I don't think I ever slept a whole night in an RV or a camper or anything like that. But they had this exploitative fake TI perp that was a fake HIPAA Christian. What's her name? Oh, what's her name? She lied and said her name is Judy, but her name is Tanya White. And she traumatized me that she tried to lock me up in her camper, and that she said it was an RV or a camper in Gulf Breeze, and she was exploitative and abusive, and she tried to lock me up in her camper, and it's like she acting like she didn't want to give me free will to come and go as I please, and she just wanted to try to control everything. Like, that freaking frightened me, and you're just local in Gulf Breeze. And I was traumatized by what she did to me. And she looked like she was a meth head or something, like she was on drugs or something. And then so she tried to have all these Bible scriptures on all her walls. And she even told me that she was sneaking and living in there, and that she wasn't supposed to be staying in there or something like that, she told me. And so I'm like, well, I don't want to be in trouble. But when I tried to go out, she had offered me food, and it was food I didn't like wheat bread, round top wheat bread, and just junk food and stuff like that, and other food I don't like. And so when I want to go out and go get me something to eat, she locked me in the RV and said that she didn't have that she wasn't gonna go back and forth, but because she said it was a struggle to open up and close the door or whatever, and I had to like fight for my right to. I had to beg her and scream to let me out. And she wouldn't let me. She wouldn't let me leave. Try to trap me up in there. And so then I didn't care if it was pouring fucking raining. I got the fuck out of there. I got out. And she has YouTube videos too. She lied to me and said she was Judy. And then I got there and she said my real name is Tanya, but you never tell your name, tell your real name. But she tried to say that gang stalking perps shake her RV. Some other targeted individuals who live in RVs have told me that too. Excuse me. That they shake their RVs at night, like the perps shake their RV at night when they're in it. So It's like, well, that would put me in danger, put us in danger. So I wish people would know my experiences before people want to condemn me for rejecting offers people to come live with me. Excuse me. And they end up being exploitative fake TI perps. I don't even know she wanted to lure me in human trafficking. But you don't trap. I mean, you're a grown woman. I'm a grown woman, and you don't freaking trap me inside of an RV. I have a right to go out and imagine a 1 bedroom RV. It was raggedy and dirty, and I just felt so uncomfortable and claustrophobic. And there was no place to take a shower. I couldn't take a shower up in there, or no, couldn't use the bathroom. I'm like, where can I go then? Um, so I got out of there and went back on the streets, despite the weather. I didn't care. I just got the fuck away from her. And she also acted very secretive. And then she was a narcissistic abuser who kept yelling at me when I got lost and was asking for directions and stuff like that. And in the meantime, I applied for a job at a hotel and they never called me back. Um, so it's like, yeah, she was abusive and treat me like how the gay brother Mark and the biological sister Ramona would yell at me and treat me when they tell me their address and I'm looking for directions and I get lost and they yell at me. Um, I'm like, well, you don't want me over here anyway. If you're gonna yell at me when I'm confused and asking for directions, I mean, because she told me meet her by the subway and there were 2 subway locations. There were 2 subway locations on that street. And I went to the first one and she got mad at me. I didn't realize it was way out there, far in Gulf Breeze. And so I I mean with Olga Limkin sitting there telling me that if I keep working or she would put rude ass like she would post like love bombing comments on like every video I do, even go far back as my first set of videos. And I don't care. I don't care because I know what you are, Olga. I don't care. So Olga would trying to frighten me, telling me that I'm gonna die soon and that I'm gonna end up in a wheelchair with the electronic harassment, that I'm gonna die soon and I'm gonna end up in a wheelchair and I'm gonna die soon and that I should quit my job now. But then she would also put rude comments with all caps saying get off the streets. Well, how the hell are you gonna try to force me to quit my job and then tell me get off the streets? And I wasn't begging or panhandling. Well, no, I did because it was only at the end of the month and I was working, but I had to wait 3 weeks for my first check. And there was a coworker who worked that same job, but during the day, and I worked in the evening. And she aggressively demanded an answer for my personal business. I didn't ask her personally, but I asked the people she was walking with. And she had puffed herself up about having the biggest mouth, this black lady. And so she aggressively demanded an answer for my personal business and then made a remark, tried to say, over here begging. And I think I bust out crying when she said that because I was low on food and I was living on the streets and I was low on food. I mean, no, I'm sorry, I was very low. Like, no, you know what? I think I was very low on money for food. That's what it was. Um, and so she's like over here begging. And so I was wondering if my income, if I get 803 a month, I think I was getting slightly less. I think I was getting 780. I was getting 780 total at the time. Still that $23 and then like 767 or something. No, 757, something like that. And $23 was 780. And then, oh, where was your money going to? My money was going to me paying a membership for the pool for that four months, because you can't pay once a month, but paying 4 months and like $80. And I had leftover, I mean that leftover money from the YMC that I worked for, the YMCA, that was gone. And and that money was gone. And then I had to pay for pool membership plus locker fee, and also paid my phone bill, paid my storage bill. And I even the soup kitchens, I just don't mess with soup kitchens anymore because I'm the soup kitchen troublemaker. You're not gonna freaking cough on me. You're not gonna smoke around me 3 times a day, and I have to argue with people coughing on me and stand and be bed bug infested, and trying to bump into me and be dirty as fuck. So I'm homeless too, and I have my moments where I can't go to the Washburn Center because uh, um at the beginning of the coronavirus thing, I don't care about social distancing, but just keep a safe distance away from me. I've been traumatized already before coronavirus. But a guy had a knife out and threatened to cut me up and kill me. So that's why I don't go back to the Washburn Center anymore. Waterfront Mission, they're abusive as fuck, and they take all. I mean, they play games with my mail. I can't go get my mail there anymore. I don't know where else. I mean, I get the general delivery downtown, but I was trying to get all my mail to general delivery. So I'm gonna try. I need to try again to get the Social Security office to send all my mail to general delivery downtown, and not the Waterfront Mission anymore. I need to explain to Social Security what's going on. But even black people, like, it doesn't matter the color or race. It's always a gang stalking perp worker who extra rude and play mind games and trigger you. They trigger you to get. I mean, they're behind that plexiglass anyway, but they make you mad enough to want to throw a chair at them. They trigger you and provoke you and play all kinds of games and get and rude and get an attitude and make you mad enough to want to throw a chair at them. But I've never done that, and I'm not going to do that. But they make you mad enough to want to. So, I mean, that's why I said they purposely changed the Social Security, changed my address on the SSI record, but not the Social Security record. Um. Oh yeah, and for the record, I never threw a chair at anybody. Yeah, I don't think I ever threw a chair at anybody, but you get what I'm saying when they provoke you and make you so mad. I never use violence at the Social Security office and don't plan to, but they provoke you on purpose. And they're all perps. Even the security guards are perps. Give you this look and treat you give you this look like you deserve to be punished. And they play all kinds of games. So I was wondering how could other people at that last job that I worked, if they work full time, if it's minimum wage or whatever, like $10 an hour. No, I think I was getting paid $9 an hour or 10. I don't remember. $9 or $10 an hour, and working part time 20 hours a week. But then after taxes, I guess it was like 150 because I was getting like about on average like 300 to $330 after taxes or whatever every 2 weeks. So even um so yeah, so that would be $600 a month, about $600 a month working part time, but full time it would have been 1,200. But I wonder what if me working part time and getting 803, how come I can't find a place to live? How they have a roof over their head and they drive to work and they have a car. I don't even know if they're working two jobs, but they're freaking they've been perping me. And I would get angry every day and like, how come they can have a roof, their own place and a car to drive, and I can't. um, and some of them were working that job and driving new like a new Nissan Rogue or something like that. But working those low wage part, I mean, well, I guess for them they got to have full time hours. But I was just about to get they just were gonna start to give me full time hours, and I couldn't take the workplace mobbing. And a person named Foxy D on YouTube, she talks about narcissistic abuse, workplace mobbing, workplace bullying, and targeting and gang stalking. And so I I mean I, it's like even another targeted individual. I'm not gonna mention her name. She even said that Olga was abusive and mean to her too, and Yurdes Gonzalez that they were rude and mean to them too. And speaking of Yurdes, when she gave me $20 on Twitter, and I forgot that a couple of times on YouTube she told me something rude, made rude comments, abusive rude comments. I don't remember what she said, but I remember they were abusive, like piercing to the soul, kind of harsh and rude. Like I don't think I cried, but I almost cried, wanted to cry. And so I mentioned about how you can't even say anything positive or good, and other targeted individuals don't want you to have anything good, or those are the fake TI perps. And so when I mentioned on Twitter, I said, well, my dinner's covered. Thank you, because y'all remember I was struggling, right? In Mobile, Alabama for those couple of weeks, and that's why I got social media. I mean, desperate for help after Alex ran me out of Pensacola. But now here, I mean, I've suffered through. I mean, now since they changed the that abandoned bank is now an Asian restaurant. So my sleep spot, I'm not under a shelter. Like I don't have protective shelter with my sleep spot. So I can't sleep there anymore. Because it's now a restaurant. And but I wasn't around those times. I was sleeping on the streets every day for like 2 or 3 months and wasn't even asking for hotel room money at all. But they closed down everything with the coronavirus, and I got that roommate. That didn't work out. And then she was the one who referred to me to this place. And I'm like, well, I'm glad she was thoughtful enough to refer me to this hotel, because I never knew about it, never knew it existed. And I thought that Super 6 motel was the cheapest, but I didn't realize there were other hotels that were just as cheap. And so this is like half the price, like way cheaper, but you have to do 7 days or more. And so After that, let me see what else. Okay, so yeah, I forgot what else I was gonna say, but okay, so Nina, Eurydice Gonzalez, what she said was like she got mad and said, "Wait a minute, she gets food SSI and food stamps. You don't know what I get. I don't get food stamps because they give you only $15. So I wasn't really asking for help, and when I was homeless on the streets in January, February, I suffered through the cold ass, torturous cold winters. They had that cold weather shelter that I'm now wrongfully banned from, so I can't go there this winter. And if it weren't for that narcissistic control freak, fake hypocrite 72-year-old lady Sally, what the hell, a hurricane named after her. Um, I could have and would have done well at that shelter, but the weather had to be below 40 degrees. And then they had this lady who was nice and helping me out, one of the volunteers, and she took Miss Sally's side and made it like she didn't want to get into it. I'm like, well, you're defending her. Why you defending her, but then telling me at the same time you don't want to take sides, but you're defending her? Because a narcissistic abuser, their so-called authority makes them right to do whatever the fuck they want, and even can kill people and be considered right for it because of their so-called authority position that that they sheepishly respect. I don't want to use that word sheep, but you get what I'm trying to say. So Nina or Eurydice said, "Wait a minute, she gets SSI and food stamps because I mentioned about how I didn't ask, but I was offered free free Chick-fil-A. So I said, you know, my dinner is taken care of. I'm good because um somebody offered me free Chick-fil-A. You know, they offered me, like, they had a few extra boxes of dinner for Chick-fil-A and they offered it to me. And then Yurda started tripping. Oh, she gets SSI and food stamps and this and that after she gave me $20. So when she got acting like she was mad at me or whatever, and that's why I blocked her. And then everybody teamed up together and ganged up on me on Twitter and had me blocked. And then I was just in an emergency situation with being threatened with jail for being on the streets. But I can be on the streets here, and people ask me, "How do you do it?" Well, I got no choice, no other choice. So they sit there and it's like, well, wow, I can't even talk about a free dinner that somebody gave me. It was extra boxes of food that they already had, and they gave it to me. And you start tripping off of that, and then the person that calls herself middle class something, I don't remember, middle class something was their Twitter name, middle class PAC, and that person said real TIs don't eat out at steakhouses a few times a week. And I'm like, wait a minute. You know, it's just that one time, $9.99 steak dinner at Texas Roadhouse. So I could have gotten a chicken dinner for that same price. It was just a small 6-ounce sirloin. Calm down. And I don't eat freaking steakhouses 6 times a week. As I said last night, I haven't eaten a steak in so long. Other than that time, I haven't eaten a steak in so long that I forgot about the terms of rare, medium rare, well done. I just said fully cooked. So that goes to show you how long it's been since I've eaten steak. can't really afford steak like that. So and so fake Ti perps make up that false rumor that and they probably give me money. I mean, that might be their agenda, that they probably give me a little money and then act rude enough on purpose to make me block them for being rude and harassing. And then so that they can create their own rumor and lie and say, oh well, Candy, she uses people out of their money and then block them. I don't just do that like that, you know. But after Yurdas had gave me $20, and then she got mad and started tripping. Not that same day, but it was like maybe a week or two later. I was still in Alabama, and she's like, "Wait a minute, she gets SSI and food stamps. I get Social Security and SSI, no food stamps, because food stamps they give me only $15. That's snack money." Wow, they hurting my chest right here. Food stamps, $15. What's the point of reapplying? Some people like, girl, take that $15 a month and apply anyway. I'm not gonna be abused by food stamp workers for $15 a month. That I don't remember the lady's name, but last May when I first got here and I only got $15 a month. I mean, when I was trying to get the food stamps, the lady was extremely rude and abusive to me, and then started ignoring my calls. When I was trying to get the paperwork and the documentation. And you go to the food stamp office, they're rude as hell. You go to the DMV, they're rude as hell. You go to the Social Security office, they're rude as hell. You go to the Section 8 office, they're rude as hell. And people have been talking for years about why they treat citizens like scum. And like people always being treated rude every time they go to the DMV. And people don't understand why there's so many rude employees or rude workers. I don't even get it. Like, why is everybody so rude, you know? So, I woke up this morning at about a little after 7:30. It's almost 10:30 right now. And I didn't eat breakfast yet. I just realized that. I mean, when that person told me about Instacart, and she told me about Instacart, and you know, I tried to apply, but they don't have it here in Pensacola. And I know nothing about Miramar Beach, but I mean, if I had my own car or something and had enough money for a hotel room or something in my predicament, I mean, I wouldn't mind going to travel or relocate over there. But I don't know how I can live as a homeless person in Miramar Beach. Would it be like Mobile, Alabama, where I'd be threatened with jail everywhere, not allowed to exist as a homeless person anywhere? Or, I mean, that's one thing I'm thinking about. And that's like the only location, and almost 55 miles away. Um, So that's, I mean, I downloaded the app and got that Wanolo job. They said I passed, but it's like 300 something miles away in Alabama. To do like 1 or 2 day jobs that was kind of similar to shift gig in New Orleans. And they don't have, I don't think they have shift gig out here in Pensacola. So what's that? People Ready. They want to ask you. I applied for People Ready in New Orleans, and they ask you your whole personal life. And I didn't get the job opportunity at People Ready because it's like if you have good quality and good character, you don't get the job at People Ready. But if you're a dishonest crook, you can get a job at People Ready. Basically with the questionnaire. So I was turned down from People Ready. I think they have People Ready here in Pensacola. And it's complicated with pace setters. I try to go to pace setters and I go at their designated time and they tell me they play games and they tell me come some other time. Like if I come, they tell me come at 2 o'clock. I come at 2 o'clock. Oh, it's too late. You should have came earlier. Come at 8 o'clock in the morning. I come at 8 o'clock in the morning. Oh, you should have came later at 2 o'clock. Like so, and then they have the job arranged where manual labor jobs, due to my disability, I can't do it. Manual labor, but there's this job through that you can work at Walmart, but you have to live here in Pensacola and then be driven to Alabama every day, and that comes out of your check, and you're not guaranteed work, and then you come back from Alabama to here, and you're stuck on the streets in the middle of the night, and I don't have a roof over my head, a steady roof over my head. I worked my first temp job at Landrum, and they had that other job like Express Employment Professionals that they were abusive as hell, like very abusive and mean, and yelled at me and blocked me from working there. And I was waiting around for their interview at like 10:30, and then 10:30 came. Nobody called. The person didn't call till like an hour later or something, and then yelled at me for not answering the phone. And then they yelled at me when I try to call back and try to do the interview again. That's the kind of games that they play. And I've been looking around, looking and looking. 11 o'clock still haven't called. 11:15 still haven't called. And so I just be like, fuck it, and then go and do something else, and then they get mad at me. That used to happen with Section 8 inspections. If they say they're gonna come at 10 o'clock in the morning, and one time this guy named Jesse Nunez, he was a gang stalking perp Section 8 inspector, and he was supposed to come before 12:30 because 12 and 1. He wasn't supposed to come between 12 and 1 because that's lunchtime for them. But so that time when he was expected to not come, I failed the inspection because he came at 12:30 and I went to go step out the house and go get something to eat for lunch, and then I came back and he failed me, did that on purpose. But he wasn't supposed to come between 12 and 12:30. He was supposed to come between 8 and 12 or 1 and 5. But he came at 12:30 on purpose, and then like they try to say I failed the inspection by not being present. He did that on purpose, and I was mad at him for a long time. And they say that I almost lost my Section 8. The games these perps play. You might as well call yourself Chucky. Yeah, wanna play? Yeah. So, you gang stalkers, just call yourself Chucky. So, I took longer than I intended because I really want to just get straight to the point and talk about, and I try to, I don't know, y'all might have a problem with me having these longer videos, but right about now, my regular phone data's, like I don't want to overdo it, and I still got about 10 days left or something, like, I don't even remember how many days, 10, 11, 12 days left. So I didn't want to have that many days and use up all my phone data, and then my phone be super slow. So that's why, and plus I get more liberty to talk longer on here. But I don't know, y'all might think I should do videos that's shorter, or I don't know if you wanted me to break them down, like break them into pieces, like part one, part two, part three. Um, but sometimes I have to explain another situation to get to a different situation, so that things can make more sense to y'all, so y'all don't just not kept in suspense. And I know I get easily sidetracked and distracted and stuff like that. So um it's like it seemed like as if Olga had been stalking and watching my videos too after I had her blocked. And other people had called her out and said, whoa, the electricity had went out for a split second. um so Olga, you know, there was a point in time she was stalking and spying on all my videos, like stars 15K, and like humiliating and yelling at me, saying, "Get off the streets!" Like through the comments on the YouTube. I'm like, bitch, you just try to. I didn't tell it to her face, but or over the phone, but and I had blocked her phone number. Like she had like 3 or 4 different phone numbers. I blocked her numbers, and she tried to make like her son is abusive, and that her son perps her. It's like, how the hell these fake TI perps make stories that sound legit, sound real? They're just like so freaking counterfeit. And then I think, as I said before, this guy named Eric Lewis falsely accused me of being a fake TI perp and reading off a script. He falsely accused, I mean, as original as my stories are, and you falsely accused me of being a paid perp that reads off a script. Let me see what he said. Um, this is what he said. This Eric Lewis person, fake TI perp named Eric Lewis. Uh, wow, and look, a suggestion shows up on my twin sister saying, "Keep listening to the cuckoo clock. Tell it like it is, full of lies." How did this show up on my It showed up on my channel after I had her blocked. I don't know if y'all can see that because I have it too bright. I was trying to make it to where y'all can see it. Keep on listening to the cuckoo clock. My twin sister right here. Somebody told me that my twin sister is guilty, that she sold her soul, and you know that's why we can't get along. So this person, um, where did he go? What did he say? All right, Eric. Oh, his comments must be gone now. Yeah, because I reported him. Like he said, Eric Lewis said, try telling one fucking story without looking at what you're supposed to read in all your videos. And real TI spot your bullshit, and we all know you're eating that food for free because who you target and get paid for. See, you're the paid agent projecting onto me. Because if I was a fake TI perp, why would I need to ask people for donations? Wouldn't I be just having my own perp money? So wait a minute. Let me see. I can look at my email, see what else he told me. But I didn't argue back with him. Let me see something. See, I think they're paid to say this. Oh wait, the comment is gone. So anyway, yeah, he said, oh, you know what? I can look at my screenshots. I screenshot what he said. Um, okay, I'm coming. That was last night he said this. And he has no subscribers. So he said, and he's illiterate and can't spell. He said, "Won't you expose yourself as being a gang stalker? You can only see your eyes reading everything you're supposed to read, and then go running your mouth to make it look like you innocent, scum of the earth, to get paid to do this. Yeah, you." So that's why the so-called targeted individuals hate me. I mean, they arrogantly brag, like the perps arrogantly bragged and boasted about turning and like they smeared it in my face and bragged about turning the they brag about turning the TI community away from me, and they want me to sell my soul. They want me to become a perp, but they want me to become a perp, and I'm not doing it. I've turned Alex down. I've turned down Sergeant Stalker. I've turned down Vice Handler. Stars 15K never asked me to become a perp, but she been bullying me and stuff like that. So I'm glad I have a few supporters, but it seems like people always just want to come on my channel and say some abusive stuff. They say abusive stuff for no, just come messing with me for no reason. But me telling my personal stories and stuff, and me talking about what I'm going, just documenting and doing like a daily diary of what I experience. It's like, how am I reading off a script? Well, I just read off of his script what he said. So I'm usually most of the time on my phone doing videos, but since I'm in this hotel room, I'm doing I'm on my laptop. So thank you. I know I got a lot to say and y'all got a busy life, but whatever you could, even if it's 5 minutes, whatever time you put in, just thanks for the support. But I'm gonna say it like this. I'm gonna call out names. Valenciaga TV, the Valenciaga TV person. She was nice and supportive, and I used to watch her channel, even though she seemed like she was. I never said anything, but she was involved, like associated with New Age and occult and stuff, and so, but I knew she was heavily targeted, and they were targeting her and her kids so bad, and they had other kids making death threats at her kids and stuff. So for no reason, I went into a depression because she blocked me, and I never said anything offensive to her. But she was liking and she would like and heart Chief Handler's abusive, rude comments. But I don't understand, and I've seen some other targeted individuals do that too, that they like and heart Chief Handler or any other perps. They would like and heart their comments. But if I say that, I understand what you're going through, and I've experienced this too, and then tell my personal story, then I get called fake and then get blocked. So I no longer watch other people's. Every now and then I might watch a couple of YouTube videos here and there, but I mostly no longer watch other people's YouTube videos and stuff. And a few other people I just can't think of right now that oh yeah, Justice T.I. last year on my other channel, I was new, and he I don't remember what subject he was talking about, and I was mentioning I go through that too and stuff like that, and he called me fake and then blocked me, and I went into a depression and was like, couldn't understand why he did that. And I was new at the time, and certain people who I thought were fake but didn't realize they were real, and I was new and still learning, but I never called them fake. I never said you're fake or nothing like that, but I just thought that in my head. But I would never, unless I see you being abusive to me, I'ma tell you you're fake. But I mean, never a few people. I never said anything, but Enoch the Freestyle Prince has, I don't know, over 50,000 subscribers, and he's always talking weird stuff about angels and other just odd stuff, and everybody's listening to him. But like, and a lot of people have called Kim Price out on being fake. And Kim Price, I had to block him for being narcissistic and abusive and making rude comments on my channel. And he would spam everybody's YouTube videos and say gang stalking is a blessing. And other people have called him out on being a fake hypocrite gang stalking perp. But I remember him seeing a video. I mean, I remember seeing a video of him talking about how he became gang stalked and that he used to be in the industry and that he used to work with Diddy and stuff like that. So I'm just I still watch a few gang stalking videos here and there, but I'd be scared to comment on people's channel, afraid of being blocked for no reason. And I don't go, like, if I see you being like really targeted and harassed, I'm not gonna go and harass your channel. I'm not gonna go and say you're fake or or anything like that. I don't go on just go around making insulting comments. But if I see somebody has a legit video, and like, let me tell you something, um, Bill Cottle, I would comment and be supportive on his channel, and he would ignore me, my comments. And then they had a perp who had cussed him out, and I defended Bill Cottle, and then Bill Cottle blocked me. And then I remember there was a beef between him and Michael Barden. So it's like, I don't know. I hate that. I mean, I just try to lay low and just talk about my own experiences after being shunned or shut down by a lot of other so-called targeted individuals. I just had to be by myself because they had this elite community that huddled together, like workplace mobbing, workplace bullying, where they all huddle together and get along together, and I'm the only one that's standing over there outcasted. So that's what it's like in this so-called targeted individual community. But I'm thankful and glad I have a few little supporters, a few supporters. But I've seen some people who profess to be targeted individuals, and they have like 12,000 subscribers, and they came after me, and they got 12,000 subscribers, and they get like 129 thumbs up and no thumbs down, and they say that they're targeted. But like, even Valenciaga TV said she had no friends, but she had a lot of subscribers though. But then again, it's like, back in April, 6 months ago, on this channel, because if my other channel wouldn't have got shut down by Stars 15K, Star L Bricker, I'm gonna keep mentioning your name, Stars L Bricker, and I'm not gonna keep your name out my mouth, and as long as you keep harassing me. So if my twin sister's making rude videos and stuff, y'all can clearly see that she's the perp and not me. But I'm trying to not pay attention to it, and I'm gonna like y'all say, trying to ignore it and trying to not feed into it. Um, Trying to make remarks and say, get some sleep, and not. So I'm about to on recommending, like, don't recommend channel, because I have her blocked. Um, my own twin sister. That's a damn shame. And yep, that's what somebody said, that she sold her soul. Because you're not gonna work with the perps and talk about that I need to be locked up in a mental institution. And now she's reversing and saying she's being gang stalked by. I mean, because fake Ti perps are trying to convince her that I'm the one who's gang stalking her. It's just a big mess. Um. Now, okay. Now, targeted Madison. Now she calls herself Into the Sun. Why are you gonna subscribe to my channel? And I blocked you. When we were cool, you weren't subscribed to my channel. But now you wanna subscribe to my channel on purpose just to be messy. And now you perping. Wow, Madison. The channel has no videos. And well, how you got one subscriber, and you've been having a channel since 2011. But she talks like as if she's mocking targeted individuals and mocking Jesus and mocking Christians and brag about smoking weed, excuse me, and stuff like that. So you can't. I mean, it's hard. I mean, some of these fake Ti perps, they talk about their so-called experiences that they make it sound realistic. Oh wow! So I had, like, when I was by Janet in April, I had like 130 something subscribers, and now I have 394. And some of my subscribers come from my twin sister and the people who are associated with them, who are not subscribed because they're supporters, but they're perps wanting to watch and monitor me and control me and try to intimidate and keep me in fear and bully me and stuff like that. I know I was supposed to have gone like 30 minutes ago and I'm still talking. I'm sorry. So I know not everybody has time to look at 3-hour videos, but they're there in case anybody has spare time to sit and watch. So I cannot believe that person who called herself on Twitter targeted Madison. She's now perping me. She ought to know better. If she's been targeted, she ought to freaking know better. Still confused about that because she was supporting me all the way. And I have screenshots of her telling me, you have a right to ask for donations. And she would encourage me, be like, I hope you got a hotel room tonight and stuff. And all of a sudden, just this. Now she's acting like a hardcore fucking perp. I just don't get it. I don't understand. Like, did you take a deal within a few seconds from my twin sister? Because even my twin sister in Los Angeles was having people stalk and spy on and report back to her the same way the foster mom did. Because once my twin sister got a hold, my twin sister turned David Jane against me. She turned my neighbors against me. When I had a boyfriend in Los Angeles, she turned him. New York. She turned him against me. Like, I'm not allowed to have any friends or boyfriends. And if she tried to force me to date this person and try to make a fool out of me, and she wants that person to be mentally slow and retarded, and she would get mad at me because I wouldn't want to, I'm busy with school and trying to stay focused, and she trying to distract me from my studies and stuff, me trying so hard. But it's like there's some other stuff that I would be out of line if I mentioned. I mean, I guess I got out of line about some other stuff that I mentioned too, but retarded deformed Carnell, I'm gonna mention it. Retarded deformed Carnell Sorrells. I didn't realize If you see this Carnell person, I didn't realize he was a gang stalking perp. He's a gang stalking perp and narcissistic abuser. And I didn't think he would be smart enough to text me every night. He would do like the gay brother Mark, refuse to talk to me on the phone. And the so-called friendship was controlled. And Carnell was a fake hypocrite and gang stalking perp. And it's like he was controlled and living underneath his adoptive mom, who was still abusing him, being a grown man who never had his own place. I at least had my own place. But you're a grown man. And if you think you can shut me down and think you're better than me, I mean, he led me on to think I can confide in him and tell him all my problems, and then he used it against me and throw it in my face and you're a constant complainer. And he ended up being like a narcissistic abuser. And last year on my other channel, I did a whole video about him. And he lied. He's a compulsive liar, lies about everything. And then when me and him got into an argument, he was making death threats at me and stuff like that. And when he was fake nice, never called me on the phone. Excuse me, but he would have kind of effeminate mannerisms and effeminate ways. He told me a few things about his adoptive mom being abusive to him too. So he used all my problems as a weapon against me. You know how narcissistic abusers, how they do. It's like he had just for me, when he invited me to come spend a few nights by him, nothing sexual happened, and it wasn't going to happen. I felt odd sleeping in the same bed as him. And I was only allowed to go in certain areas of the house, not sleep in the living room. But, nothing sexual happened, and he didn't rape me, thank goodness, So he had a fresh, brand new poster of Aaliyah on the wall on purpose to trigger me. And so I didn't know at the time that it was like right before I found out I was for sure being gang stalked, and that I thought he was just a narcissistic abuser, but he's a narcissistic perp also. And he was probably secretly going back and telling my twin sister everything. And he tried to tell me, this was I wasn't going to say, but I'll say it. Oh, don't tell nobody, but me and your sister had sex and this, and I'm like, what? So he told me that he had sex with my twin sister. I'm like, I didn't think she would do something like that with him. And he tried to say that she started on him first and all this stuff like that. He could have been lying. Could have been telling the truth. I don't know. But back in 2010, my twin sister was trying to say that he was trying to get at her or something, or that he sexually wanted both of us. And he admitted to me that he sexually wanted both of us. I'm like, you can only have one twin, not both. Because I don't sleep with the same. I wouldn't even sleep with somebody that a cousin of a cousin off the other side slept with. I don't do that. So, him telling me all that stuff, and he would it was hard me being a targeted individual with jobs, but I had to think later and realize Carnell was a perp, like a narcissistic control freak fake friend sent in your life. And then when Carnell would refuse to call me but only wanted communication by text and wait till nighttime, and he was the only person, if I talk on the phone with him, the battery would drain like in 10 minutes. With my phone would be at 100%, and it was only texting him and a few other people who would be like perps that I didn't know was a perp, or even a fake TI perp. If I text them, then in 10 minutes my phone battery would drain from 100% to 0. And Carnell wanted me to be in danger. Like he was too inconsiderate and selfish to even care. He didn't even care that Carnell did not even care about me like that I needed my phone for safety and protection at night. But he waited till nighttime, and within 10 minutes or 30 minutes my phone battery would be like gone in 10 in a short time on my phone. But if I'm texting somebody else back and forth, um if I'm texting somebody else back and forth, they you know, me texting somebody else back and forth, it won't take, I can be texting that person for back and forth for like 3 hours, and we still can be. I mean, I still have a good amount of battery. You get what I'm saying? But I didn't know that Cornell was perping me. But I need to learn more about the gang stalking and honeypots and perp friends and stuff, fake perp friends sent in your life and stuff like that. Like Sarah Townsend here in Pensacola. She looked like the foster sister Joni, but she was tall and she was narcissistic and arrogant, like a deformed. Well, my niece, Hellface Ugly Monica, she's deformed and retarded herself, but delusionally believes she's better than normal. I never seen somebody so stuck up and arrogant, um, like Hellface Ugly Monica, so arrogant, just fucking conceited unnecessarily. Like I never saw anybody who thought so highly of them. I mean, I've seen people who thought so highly of themselves, but not like that. To the point it's freaking ridiculous. Hellface Ugly Monica, the complexion of white people with nappy hair, and then freaking think you're better than everybody. Think you're like better than everybody. I mean, nothing wrong with nappy hair or anything like that, but they in my family they think lighter skin makes you better, even if your hair is nappy. But you know, um, I don't like I used to have a problem growing up with with the hair issue and skin color insecurities, and we were brainwashed that when we were younger. But now I don't have anything against, not anymore, but I was very little, like in first and second, third grade and stuff. And I used to want to be white, but not anymore or anything like that. But I'm just saying, like, if you think you're better than somebody, I'm like, well, you got black traits too, Monica. You have a certain kind of texture of hair, but you're the complexion of white people, but you think you're better than everybody because of your skin color. And so I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, be offensive, but I wish people could understand where I'm coming from. That if a person, like back then, people used to get on my case and talk about my hair is nappy and that I need a perm and stuff like that. And bully, harass, and laugh at me about my hair and not being an acceptable hair texture. But my point is, if my hair is nappy and your hair is nappy, you ain't better than mine. I mean, you ain't better than me. That's what I'm trying to get at. So don't get offended that I just said what I said. But if people call me nappy head and tell me I need a perm, but you think you're better than me because your skin color is lighter. But I had to learn that not, I mean, all of us, um, not one person is not better than another because of genetic biological traits. Just because a person might have lighter color eyes or green eyes or blue eyes, gray eyes, doesn't make somebody better than somebody with dark brown eyes. Or because the person has dark brown eyes, you can't be considered pretty. Um, so I mean, I had to grow up with that persecution growing up, with my skin color not being light enough, my hair not being straight enough, my lips being too big, my teeth being crooked, and just all about looks. But
I used to be so focused back then, years ago, on preoccupied and shamed of my genetic features growing up, and not realizing that I'm Creole. Um, and nowadays, people ask me by my eyes. They ask me if I'm mixed with Asian and stuff. I get it from the biological dad, Arthur, that y'all say is not my dad, because I'm not light skinned like him. So, I mean, sorry if I offended anybody, but I hope y'all were able to listen to my explanation. Um, so now I'm not overly concerned about my skin color and certain genetic features like I used to be when I was younger and didn't know the truth about these agendas and everything. Um, so, stop turning your nose up at somebody or thinking you're better because of genetic features. And some people act like everything has to be all about the color of your skin, and not what's in your heart. Um, and so even Sarah was a narcissistic, control freak, fake friend that I had to come to realize that she was a perp. And dealing with Sarah and the way of getting along with Sarah was like Carnell all over again. And I wanted to cut off friendship with her sooner, but I was afraid of backlash or afraid of disaster, afraid of what I went through. The argument that I went through with Carnell, it freaking psychologically and mentally traumatized me. And I never knew Carnell had a temper, and I never knew Carnell was like that. I never knew Carnell was a narcissistic abuser and a gang stalking perp. Because when you try to better yourself, like me trying to walk away from, I didn't know it was considered being a fan of a celebrity was considered an idolatry or whatever. I didn't realize it was considered idolatry, but I had to learn. Well, how can you condemn me about idolizing Aaliyah, but you can idolize LL Cool J? You can because you like his lips or you sexually want him so bad, but I can't be a fan of somebody who inspires me. But I had to turn away from that, and I didn't realize that Aaliyah, was brainwashing fans into worshiping Satan too, and that she was brainwashing MK Ultra and under mind control too. So I had to turn away from that and turn to Jesus. That's the only person. Um, I had to learn. That Jesus is who I should, you know, be worshiping. But I didn't know that it's like some professed Christians feel like it's idolatry that you go run to your cell phone the first thing in the morning rather than Bible reading and prayer. They say that some people say that you might idolize your phone or you spend so much time on your phone and not with Jesus. They call that idolatry too. Um, some people say cut down social media consumption anyway. Um, so I don't know if I might try a different avenue, but I don't know how I'm gonna do it because people are freaking watching me. I thought everybody ignores me and leave me alone, but it seemed like as if when my twin sister sent everybody to my channel, but she tried to cry and play victim and talk about how I sent people to her channel. I didn't send anybody to her channel, but I just posted the link of, her harassing me. And y'all be the judge of who's the perp and who's the TI if y'all been following me and seeing my evidence all along. She picked up where the foster mom left off with the abuse. And so did the gay brother Mark and other family members. Like, I thought the abuse would end once I turned 18, but I didn't. I mean, it didn't. So, I just I know it talked about from. I mean, I won't entitle this open talk because even though I talk about a whole bunch of different topics, but I won't call it open talk. I'll still um say something like targeted individuals, um targeted individuals, gig economy jobs, or targeted individuals, gig economy, something like that. Plus MISC mean miscellaneous, or maybe target individuals, gig economy plus open talk, something like that. Because I thought I was just gonna stick to that one topic, but here I'm talking about a whole bunch of different topics in one big video. So Sarah turned out to be like another Carnell, and I wanted to be Sarah's friend. But I still had more to learn about the gang stalk and didn't know she was a perp too. And she just didn't appreciate me as a friend, and she was jealous, but at the same time thought she was better. And she tried to abuse and handle me a certain way. Like when she asked me what, like everybody always be like, well, why would you come here to Pensacola? But they'd be like, but why Pensacola? And I think that was the perp script to me. Like, but why Pensacola? Like as if I have some explaining to do. When I left New Orleans, like, um, and what perps that I grew up with, especially right about now and me speaking out. I think if I go back to New Orleans, even though I just came from there I went there last month for the first time in over a year. Um, so in New Orleans, um, I don't think it's the way things are right now. I don't think it's safe for me to go back to New Orleans. um, I don't know what could happen to me with the perps who are mad at me that I spoke out against them, and narcissistic abusers and Masonic families that I spoke out against. I don't know what would happen to me if I go up to New Orleans. I mean, go over to back to New Orleans. So I may have to stay away, sadly, because that's my hometown. And you don't have the authority or right to run me off of my hometown where I was born and raised, especially if you're not from New Orleans, like I was. So here I'm in Pensacola, and everybody knew that already. And so my twin sister tried to make it like it was hard to find me. She made a comment on one of her videos saying, "Oh, it's hard to find her because she's homeless and it's harder to find her because of the hurricane." Like as if they're trying so bad to relocate. I mean, to locate where I'm at. They're just on fire, mad at me. My twin sister not in New Orleans. But it's like people who we went to school with. Like when she sent them to my channel, and everybody just flocked to my channel, and like even my Instagram followers started to boost, but then everybody unfollowed at almost the same time. I'm like, why am I considering? I mean, why am I losing followers? But they were, I guess, people who I thought were targeted, but weren't, and then connected with my twin sister, who like Crystal Higgins and Georgette Evans, who used to bully, harass, and laugh at me in high school. It's like y'all got unfinished business with me. Georgette Evans, I know you're not friends or cool with my twin sister. I know you're not friends with Lanika Simeon. And Lanika didn't even invite your ass to her wedding. I know she didn't. I know I wasn't invited either. I don't care. But all these people who are defending my enemies, and y'all don't even know the whole story or the real story or the truth. And people like Shannon Jefferson and Sequetta Watson come on my YouTube channel, and I think Shannon has switched her mind and unsubscribed. I would have Shannon would have been one of the last people on the face of well, not on the face of the earth, but one of the last people I would have thought would have become a perp or a sellout. I would have never thought Shannon would do that. And Eric Lagarde, Eric was always nice and stuff, but he would have never had perp mentality. So people really are changing for the worse and turning evil. But that's how um they have the fake IDMR cult. They falsely accuse. They say Christians are the devil worshippers and their religion is true. Today, later on today, I'm gonna transfer the other video. I'm gonna see if I can do it. Transfer the other video from my other channel about the IDMR cult and put it on this channel. I don't know if I can take it down and then put it on here, but um, I got a lot of views on my. I shouldn't have took it down, but I was called myself being scared when I did the expose video, and I still have a copy of it somewhere. I need to go and find the original video of me exposing the IDMR cult. But now it's like the IDMR cult in its relation to gang stalking. Because yes, the IDMR cult, I believe that lady when she said that the cult was perping her and throwing stuff into her yard and harassing her and doing stuff to her, but she didn't believe she was targeted or being gang stalked. She cut off all contact with me when I told her, because I had just found out I was being gang stalked and targeted and harassed. I mean, it's been happening to me for years, but I just was made aware of it and had my final confirmation. So what I want to say about Sarah, and then I'm going to go, I promise this time. What I want to say about Sarah is that Sarah asked me why Pensacola. I said because of the beach. I mean, because I got away, when I was banned from seemingly everywhere in New Orleans, being homeless, couldn't use the bathroom anywhere, not allowed to exist as a homeless person. They want you out of sight if you're homeless. Excuse me. So, when Sarah said why Pensacola, I said because of the beach, and she gave me that a look like the foster mom, that mean stare, like Sarah looked like she wanted to punch the fuck out of me, like soul piercing into your soul, mean, evil kind of look, like she wants to just punch the fuck out of me. And she said it's because of people who she said people always say they want to come to Pensacola because of the beach. Well, she was supposedly born and raised here in Pensacola, but she's 12 years younger than me and thought she had authority over me and try to order me around and tell me what to do and be controlling and treat me like I'm slow with no sense. And she was a retarded narcissistic abuser. And then she had this attitude like as if I deserved to be punished. And then her coworkers and other friends were more worthy, and she would ignore me and then intentionally make it like as if I was the last person who deserves attention, and on purpose to belittle me. And then she had this person named Adrian on UWF campus in the cafeteria, was offered to pay me meals. I didn't ask, but she offered to pay me meals and then said, well, let's meet up on Thursday. And Sarah was basically telling this girl what to think about me and how to treat me. But I don't think Sarah has any connection with my family. And I thought that if I broke away from any biological or foster family members or got away from New Orleans, I thought that my abuse and the way people treat me, I thought it would stop. You're not going to shove mental health down my throat and call me attention seeking and, use all these mental health terminology and stuff. You're not gonna force. You don't have that authority or rights to try to force mental health down my throat. So Christians don't go around calling each other attention seekers, but that's people of the world with the fake mental health thing. Use that fake mental health terminology in psych games. My left side is hurting and feels like menstrual trance, but I'm not menstruating right now. I don't know if that's part of the electronic harassment torture to my organs. But I'm gonna stop anyway because I said I would. Now I'm gonna stop running my mouth, stop talking for now. But um, thanks for listening, and bye bye.